train early on being 2 hours. We stopped at the border, but no police or anything. Trees is the window of the train. We're about an hour from Genoa. Not that far because there's just lots of stops. It's very pretty. Sometimes you see very high bridges where the cars go. The road that Mussolini built, that's very flat and goes through hills. Across valleys on not tall bridges, just so the cars don't have to go up and down. It's meant to be like a Roman road.
We've just picked, oops, I should change the location, shouldn't I? I think we're still in the same time zone, so it's okay.
There's a petrol station 2 kilometres or you're right, keep going.
Yep.
Keep going.
Oh, we can keep going. I don't mind, it'll be alright. We've just picked up the car in Genoa, and the countryside's quite lovely. We found the toll road out, not too bad. The signs were a bit confusing, but we got there in the end. But the countryside's very nice. It's very hilly, and
There's huge bridges, like it's miles down to the ground.
a long way down.
It's massive distance down. The roads are flat, so they build long tunnels, as I've said before, and we went through a tunnel like 3 kilometres long. It's huge.
This car quite isn't as good. Scott's been doing, it's doing about 90 kilometres an hour at the moment, and I don't know, it's not bad, but it's not as good as the other one. Here's one of these tunnels that Scott was talking about. It's a tiny one. Some of them just go on and on for what? How far would you say?
Yeah, a couple of kilometres.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. We were unable to get any breakfast because of all the carrying the bags and everything. So now it's 10 to 12 and we're having an early lunch. Doesn't appear to be much else around.
Okay, twisty, windy, narrow roads, like between Nice and the little towns. We've been driving around them because Sarah's auntie Yvonne sent us up to see this lake. And thus brave Italian traffic. And we decided that on the freeways all is well, and big signs. Otherwise it is a tad tricky. But somehow, by some miracle, we haven't got lost. And the lake was worth it. In fact, the first stop we've been able to manage isn't the prettiest view. It's been pretty for the last few kilometres. There was nowhere to stop. But it is, however, still very pretty. This lake is, I don't know, some large distance, 50 odd kilometres long and reasonably wide. We're heading up to this little town. Como, the big city at the end of it down there with about 90,000 people. It's around the corner. We drove through. We're not going to stay there, we're going to stay further up when the book says it's better. And it's a very, very lovely day. Stop number 2. Just see that even though it's a very warm day, there's snow on them there hills, and we're in summer. We're only, I'm not exactly sure, something of the order of 50 to 100 clicks from the Swiss border, so those are sort of part of the Alps, not the proper part which is close to the French border, but same thing. It's very nice. We're going through town after town every distance, like the little one across there. It's very rare to have this straight part here, and this angle on these mountains is amazing, isn't it? Oh, and this is a new car. Say hello to the Italian car. It's a Daewoo. It's already done 40,000 clicks.
And it was filthy when we got it.
Yeah, well, it wasn't us. Whereas the Lagana was quite new, as were the other two cars. Okay, we've just got on the boat going up a couple of towns on Lake Como to Varina from where we are at Pelagio. We're going to that little town across there. This is where the river does a Y-shaped fork. I think that's a leg going back down. And over on the other side, looking down the Y-shape there like it's going back. The main part of the other branch. Back there. Very slightly because I've zoomed in a little bit. Well, it probably looks very fast when you watch it on TV. You sort of see that this town's quite frequently, but that's why there's another one. You kind of see up there. Back there. So there really is towns quite frequently. Just in personal with one of the towns of Lake Como, you can see that there ain't too many quarter-acre blocks except for that one just there. This is totally different to Genoa. Although I took this ginormous walk with a suitcase and bags today to find the Hertz rent-a-car. The street numbering was strange. We ended up backtracking a lot, but anyway. And that part of Genoa was quite a bit nicer and it felt totally safe, unlike last night. And this, which is full of tourists, it's really, really nice, this area. Sarah shouted us a nice little 2-star place. Mind you, you should have seen this other one that we walked into with its own pool with sculptured gardens in the water. It's a bit out of our price range. Besides which I was worried that I'd scratch the car on the 2 Porsches there. You know what Porsche drivers are like. This is not where we get off, this is our first stop. There's something like 20 towns that the ferry stops at. Well, we're only going 2 stops because of they don't run that much later in the day. You can see that up the back here, it's a little bit flatter. So they've built it back further. It's really lovely. Seriously looks like a cheap rear projection for some 1950s movie, doesn't it? Okay, we're wandering around Varina, a little place on the lake, not to be confused with Verona or Venice, Vienna or anything else starting with a V. Now this is totally different, we just climbed up some stairs to get to the top bit. Is Sarah having a good time? She's been very excited today. Climb down those steps to the water. Very nice here and clean and pretty. For Nessa. This is a car ferry with Humpty Hump cars arriving. We walked on that bottom little bit behind the boat, and where there's that little stone circle, we got our photo. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, it was there. We got our photo taken by these English people. Not sure whether it's worked out. And she kept following that around the corner to the left. There's some lovely little streets and alleyways. It was rather good. And the old church and stuff. It really is the most lovely day. As Sarah was saying, Lake Windermere and bucketed on us both days that we were there. And drizzled reasonably hard and it was freezing cold. In Scotland it wasn't freezing cold, but geez, it was raining hard. Like Lomond. So yes, a good view down there of this Y shape of the two lakes. Just a last look at the boats heading back towards Bellagio. There's the mountains up there that we drove along and under today. Pretty amazing, don't they?
Lake Como, the top part of it, Bellagio, something like that. And we're just driving now down to Lake Como and we'll make our way across to Venice. But we've been going through these amazing tunnels, they just last forever. As you can see. Because we've been on lots of bendy roads, it's quite narrow and hard to pass cars if they come towards you. It's quite scary, especially when a bus or a truck is coming down the way. There we go. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
So if people around you might get a nice view.
Oh, look how windy it is. Must be Lecco. Or, then again, it would be over there.
On the left there. Just trying to pull over and look what's going on.
We're on the autostrad now heading to Venice. See up there, look at the traffic. Not too sure where they're heading to. Do you know,
Back towards Milan would be the direction there.
Oh, okay.
But it's a little way to Milan.
Absolutely choppy. It's really built up here. There doesn't seem to be much greenery, I suppose you could say. It's funny, you'd see a big factory and then there's like this really small field and they're growing crop. There's some there. There's mountains in the back.
Very pretty though. Easy to tell it all. We're on a long, long bridge. This long, long bridge goes to some islands, which might just get through all those people up there. These islands have a name. That's called Venice. I don't know where you're going there. After driving across this morning from Como, we stopped at an information place and got a map, and then after the tolls, not that it was signposted all by sheer fluke, we saw a motel place and we did about a 363 traffic, and they said a one-star place, 110 euros, wasn't it, Sarah?
Sorry?
110 euros?
Yeah.
That's about 170-ish Australian for one star on the island.
2-star was something like another $40, etc. This guy come up who was hanging around out the front. He goes, "I'll give you a room for 85. I went, "Oh yeah." And he showed us a map that was 3 stars, but it's on the mainland. And he goes, "Free parking, I'll drive you there." And we thought, alright, so we followed him, and the room is really good. It included like shampoo and conditioner and body lotion and shoe polish. So we were sold. We went off, we got our pass, we missed the train. Sarah's ears were bright red, she's not a happy camper. Bus, sorry. And we went and got some fruit, and here we are approaching the island through this bridge. To park on the island for the day, in the cheap, well, there was 2 places that were $30 for 24 hours, it's a fixed fee. And the other place was $40 for 24 hours. So we'd had to pay that on top of $170 for the 1-star place. There's the train going there. And over on the right, you can't see St Marco's Square from here, that's the long distance. This is the big castles. So we were rather happy to get here. You pay €10 or $16 for the 24-hour bus and ferry pass, in case you want to come back in the morning or something. And this is our first view of Venice. And there's a genuine Venice petrol station. Petrol's expensive here too, it's still like $1.70 a litre, it's the same as France. Alright, the first water boat to St Marco's Square from the bus and train station and carport. As you can gather, it is a little bit popular. Anyway, I haven't got the map, so I can't tell you which island I'm pointing at the moment. You've got the map.
Where?
You folded it up.
Put it in your pocket.
Did you? Canal?
Yeah,
Alright, say it loudly.
Ponte Degil Galati.
Like a true Italian.
Yeah, it's too hard to read it.
Sarah.
Flowers.
It's funny, those boats. Have you ever seen Indiana Jones and the third movie? Yeah, when they're in Venice in 1936? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're on those motorboats. And they look just like the one that went past before. There's a hotel. I bet you that's expensive. As I'm sure many people have observed, it wouldn't take much of a tsunami in the Mediterranean Sea to wipe out all of Venice, would it?
I'll have to come back the other, sit on the other
Side.
the other side. It definitely went faster in the Indiana Jones movies. I should give this to you because I'm getting this metal bar and you can get through it. Hey.
Just have a quick look around the corner and I'll pass it over.
Read.
Yeah, do commentary. Quick glimpse of one of the major stops. You can see the canal boats currently not used, they're paddles. Not like that system that we had. Heaps of people around, and these are the taxis, which are like the boats from Indiana Jones. And that's all the buildings, and there's a lovely, lovely bridge. And all the people sitting around watching it all happen. Conservatories with the batteries. You missed an earlier great bit where there was this like massive blockade of people on the gondolas. And
gather we're getting close. So someone's just got in my way. I was going to show you the bronze statue. Just after a 35-minute trip-ish, we're now at St Marco Square. So named as we've discovered because Phoenicians stole the body of St Mark from his tomb in Alexandria in northern Egypt in about 900 or 1000 AD. Oops, I'm going a bit quickly. And they brought his body back here. And I imagine is buried in one of these churches. Then there's allegations that the body was switched 100 years later or something. Just do a panorama around there, some of the flashy places over there. And then yeah, many people waiting for a gondola ride. I guess you go up there and haggle with it. Fairly ornamented, isn't it? No, actually I don't remember that clearly. Pictures are very good.
Another one of just the many canals. You can see it's actually quite dirty down there. A lot of rubbish. Just something we've come across. Seem to be doing a lot of work here. Huge. It's off the main area and it's just hardly anyone inside. You can see all those people just disappeared. And we kind of got a bit lost. It was just a maze of these alleyways there.
Turn it slowly.
Now Scott's found maybe an exit.
She told me I'll point the camera at you the whole time. Okay, as punishment for that, we're just going to focus in on Sarah for a while. Quite an amazing building. Yeah, they've done the bricks.
Heading away to the island of Lido, and it's actually seen some trees for the first time. Got one of those big ferries to a couple of parts of the island of Lido. Over there is a little sandbar. Zoom in, sorry, it's going to be quick. Look at that sandbar, the moving picture of the ferry, and they're playing soccer on it. Very good, isn't it? Zoom out again now. You can see there's a bit of a hike to the land. That's around the back of the main island, Roof Island, another handful. There's Sarah, I'm with the camera. I can see in the photos. Heading back in towards St Marco. Okay, this is Ben, those little back alleys back in Venice, doing a little shopping. You can see how narrow they are, a number of tourists. All the shops have lovely little displays selling Venetian glass beads, such as these ones. Oh, this is a rare one selling furniture. That's a very flash one selling puppets. And those Venetian masks. This can be seen, oops, sorry. This can be seen here. That's some Venetian masks. Gee, that one on the top's nice, isn't it? I also found a Roman coin shop. Sarah came and grabbed me before I went to that. They actually had gold Roman coins from 1,000 to 2,500 euro, as well as other ones. Here we are eating dinner beside the Grand Canal, watching all the tourists on the boats. We went to one guy to see about a ride and he said 120 to 150 euros, which is a little over $200, 200 to 250. And then we said no, and someone ran after us. He said 101, and someone else ran after us and said 80, but we decided we didn't want to when we were taking those big ferries. I think you have to pay extra for someone to play guitar. We saw a Japanese couple getting married, or like she was in her bridal gear. And you should take photos if you spend the money. This is the armloads of them lined up. I mean, we kind of would have liked one, but 80 euros is a lot of money. Maybe if we found 4 other people.
They haven't had a good day though, they really haven't.
No, we haven't seen
much.
much.
Haven't moved.
Yeah, they're all being packed up now. Not that it's so expensive. It's 8 o'clock, gee whiz. Okay, this is us on the island of Chika, I think. Totally wrong. What is it? Yeah, nearly 9 o'clock. You can see it's getting quite a bit darker. Zoom in a little bit. We really have a vast number of churches, as you can see from the skyline, across all the different islands. Very nice. Okay, not sure how well you'll see this as it's moderately dark by now, but that's the island of Lido across there. We've got off on a tiny other little island connected to where we were. You can see the little lights, I see this. We've got highway lights on the water to tell boats where to go. We went across that island earlier. We're just here by ourselves. There's some lovely churches on this bit. And that's looking back to Central, where we'll go and get a ferry soon. There's one of the other churches. It looks pretty from around the other side. And just to be like Sarah and show the other side, there's some old rusty metal pipes. There's nobody around except us. Okay. Oh, running low on battery. That's a square. This is a water pump. I don't know what that water pump's doing. And back over here is one of those lovely churches. You won't see it very well now because we're right underneath it. Stop tickling me. Hey, you gotta stand there and be on film now. Sarah, say something to the rest of the world from Venice.
Ciao.
Oh, very good. Back near San Marco Square. The tourists are still flocking around. People are still selling t-shirts. The Doge's Palace, still a very impressive achievement. And St Mark's Church, which we didn't actually get to go in, is still looking lovely. I missed that twice now, I have to make that third time looking. And I don't know how well you're seeing this either. This is St Mark's Square proper. There's people flocking everywhere. It's, fairly close to pitch black at 10 o'clock.
That's what I've been doing.
He's back at the church. And those are actually mosaics, not paintings. Sarah was telling me. Oh no! That was a song I really liked. It came over on the video camera. Come over to hear it and it stopped. It's time to say goodbye. That was the name of the song, isn't it? Oh, what a major bummer. Rats.
Sarah wants us to sit down here. €7.20 for a tea or a coffee, that's like $12. Plus a €4 surcharge each because there's music, which is like under $7. So you get up to like $20 each if you want a tea and a coffee. Cakes are $16. They reckon there's something like a bit of an atmosphere here. They're probably right. Gotta go quite slowly because it's so dark.
You better decide what we want.
Sorry? Quality of food you can get, which we're not going to at these prices, but hey, we're here. And all those cheap people like us who stand out the back and just listen to the music. It's a lot cheaper if you eat it inside, but not many people are, surprisingly. €8 hot chocolate taste like?
Needs lots of sugar.
You're having fun?
Yeah, it's great.
This is our plastic. They're very good. We looked at the three places and decided we like the music here best.
At least we got silver there.
Well, it's true, we did get silver here. Oh, this is fun. I suppose I should drink this with the tea I've got now. Please leave the video on the recorder. fairly into it, aren't they? I'm going to try something. I'm not sure if this will work. Can you see what that says? Sorry? That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Oh, you're hot puppy strong. Can you believe I don't use breakfast tea? They're charging $12. Oh yeah, plus the $7 for the band, which are like wood. No, it's alright. How dare they take a break? I'll come back soon. When the band returns, turn the video back on. Sorry? That's interesting. people around the group where there's not many people see them. Well, maybe there's more sitting there. They don't take me lots of talk. And all the people are leaving the other place, the little people are sitting out together. It's sad. One last little swing around the place. Turn back this way, because I can't this way out anymore. And up. I don't know how well you can see that. And that's coffee in Venice.
Still trying to calm down from the stress of that drive.
Okay. Evening all. It is 8:30 on Wednesday. This morning we left Mecra, Venice, and we drove. And we got into the outskirts of Florence about 1 o'clock, or a bit earlier. And then things went wrong. We misread a sign that we thought was information, but it was information on the autostradas, not on motels. And to get from the freeway to the youth hostel in Florence was a major undertaking. It was very warm, and it's actually over 30 today. I'm quite muggy. I went to this several petrol stations asking directions, and then finally this lady with bad English started telling me something, and then 5 other people, I'm not joking, came to help too, which just made things horrendous. She shooed them all off, and in the end she told us something, and we were what, 25-30 kilometres away. We had to skirt around the city, and by gee, they were good instructions. She only said 3 things: go to Rome, take the 3rd right, follow the sign to Fiesole. Fiesole, which is where we are now, is up on the hill, and it's got super narrow little roads, and we went down a massive inclination or declination and around a big corner that was bendy, and there was cars parked, and we had to reverse. We could have shown you that in action, but it probably would have been censored due to rude language. Now it is late, and I'll just zoom in on the main part of Florence, or the ancient part. Now I'm sorry for the smokiness of the day. It's been like that. My asthma's played up a little bit. It was bad around Bologna, wasn't it?
Yes, but you
Okay.
won't take any.
I'm as bad as Sarah, aren't I? Oops, I'm sorry, that's not steady. There's a Domo. There. The old part of Florence. Zoom out slowly. I really loved this place when I was here before. We stayed up on a hill as well. Just gives you an idea. It's a massive place. I thought it was a much smaller city than that. Let's try. Anyway, there are some vineyards and orchards down there. The youth hostel, I wasn't sure whether we could see it or not. It was really lovely. It's in an old villa, although we're in this thing. They said for €47 we could have these bungalows out the back. We thought, marvellous. It's also a camping ground, but they're very small bungalows. It was...
Toilet with a bed.
Sarah wanted to stay in dorms, but I'd rather stay with Sarah, so we paid the money. That's coming out of Scott's bonus fund. No, I'm a bit addicted to her. So anyway, I should just take you for a walk. There's some amazing buildings. Shall we wander back? Or we want to take some more photos? Oh, we can have a look. Lovely sunset though. As you can see, just going down. Oh, sorry for that. Turning around quickly. So I'll just take you down. Well, we'll call it a typical Tuscan village. We've never been to another one, so we don't really know. This is the road. As you can tell, when a car comes, we go to plan B, which is panic and hope to jump into a doorway.
Luckily we're not in the car.
Yes. Really lovely old buildings though. This is down at the bottom of that little road we showed you earlier. There was a lovely place somewhere. Must have been another street down. They're very pretty places, aren't they? Sarah's noted the shutters in the windows. These are quite common. And around the next corner you can see an old clock tower. It's really rather nice, isn't it? Little gardens. Rather lost tourists like ourselves. We're very lucky to get a space. Parking is a little bit of a premium around here. Very lovely. Okay. Day 15 following day. Route. And Florence. And slowly because it's hard to get back any further. And then down the other side. Behind us here is either the original reproduction of a famous three-dimensional spatial column sculpture. I think it was Giotto. Anyway, it was the first one that really got the handle of perspective. So if you look here you can see, we might be able to see people that properly in the background. Whereas earlier ones, this is quite early, I think it was 1295 or 1395 or some such thing like that, they couldn't show in the background. It always looked like they were higher up rather than behind it. Whereas there, people genuinely look behind. They're all dressed up in gold, get a picture taken with them and the little kids for money. But the little girls just finished. I'll just zoom around quickly. This is all of the Uffizi gallery, which at one point was a palace. We just went through there for an hour. And back to the town hall up there. Long way. Oh, there's another guy over there. Look at him. I don't know how much you have to give him. And that's the fake statue of David. I'll just show around here. There's all these other little statues up in there. No one's giving him any money. Oh yeah, there's a lady going up.
Oh, isn't that cute? Would you like a picture? Geez, that'd take a while to get the makeup off, wouldn't it?
Yes. Get this view. And there's still about another 10,000 to go.
You're doing very well. Actually, she's not, but anyway. This is the queue to get into the cathedral, which is actually less since we left it, typical. So we've gone up Giotto's bell tower instead. Same price, 50 less stairs, and you don't get the view of the dome which you get when you get in. You can see the people up there. It's a huge climb getting up there. And we're doing the bell tower instead. Of the 414 stairs, we've probably covered 80 of them. It's very pretty. And there's somebody we marked out. We wanted to see how fast she was moving in the queue. She's moved a long way. I picked someone to follow anyway. Ever onwards and upwards. Inside the bell tower, Sarah's climbing more stairs, and there goes the bell. We still ain't there yet. Give me a wave. We've made it. It's getting a bit warm for this, just to prove it. You can just look behind us. And I'm just panning around the corner a little bit. So you can see when you're at the top of the dome. Not quite as high as those people. They had to do more stairs than us. There's flowers and the Tuscan hills in the background. Looking you down to the ground. This is another side, looking back towards the Town Hall Tower and Signora Plaza. More view down at the queue. It's not too bad at the moment. This is the first dome built since Roman times. It was started in 1296 and took 150 years. Inside the cathedral. It's very vast. When you look up, there's some nice stained glass windows. No, I won't be able to see that clearly. Might see these ones better. No. It was the one in Lyon. That was the one I thought was the most intricate. The church that we went to on the hill.
Where?
Lyon, France.
Yeah.
Okay, and check out the dome.
Up near Montmartre.
Yeah. No, not Paris, Lyon.
Oh.
You've got a long way up to the top there.
Up the bottom.
Before we did the guided tour, we went to the Roman Theatre, then the Roman Museum, then the church. I don't know how they painted this, given how high it is. Just sort of pan down to show how amazingly high up it is.
I think that's through there where you do the walk, which we're not doing.
A small side wing of another church called the Santa Crieu, I'm not sure. Sounded a bit like that one in Paris. So, just a tiny little bit of it. It's very impressively painted. Sarah reading up on the church. Down here, see on the ground, that's where the bodies of rich, well-time people, about 500 years old, died. It often has their name. Some of them, as you can see here, have a three-dimensional effect. I'll just meander around a little bit. You can see it's quite large. We're not in the main part, we're in a side wing. That's the other side wing. It's very, very intricate. The main reason for coming here was because apparently Michelangelo was buried here. Sometimes on these ones you can see where people have walked over them and they're being run flat. Looking back into the entrance. Something like Santa Crieu. That's obviously someone very rich. There's a picture of him.
They never die because they're very true.
Very, very nice. And this is one in good condition. Alexander Claramisia, he died in, no, not that long ago at all. 1906, so it probably explains why it was in such good condition. This one's quite pretty. Died on the 23rd of August, 1467. That's a good thing. That there would seem is the tomb of Machiavelli. Thought he was in Venice, but anyway. And one of these ones, I gather perhaps the one with all the group is Michelangelo's tomb. Back up here I was wrong. That is actually a tribute to the poet Dante, but he's not actually buried here. The one cunningly disguised by the word Michelangelo Bonitario is here. Church. And again, and I'm assuming he's not buried here, this is another one to Galileo. churches. This is badly burned down in 1771. Only these bits there, main, up there had to be all redone. Just about to leave the youth hostel in Florence. Showing around the little ground. Actually this Tuscany villa. It goes around behind it quite a way. This is around some more of the main part where everybody's queuing to check out. Just go on the ceiling. Pretty amazing place.
We're just leaving Florence, and I don't know, can't see it through here, but the pollution is so thick that you can't even see the hills. Vaguely see where they are. It's pretty bad. We were hoping to have a drive through Tuscany, but it's not really very nice at all, especially this sort of place. So we're going to go to Pisa.
We're in a fairly famous square about 90 kilometres from Florence. We had an atrocious drive. The signs on the freeways weren't so good, although we got out of Florence fine. The pollution's been very bad this morning, as Sarah said. And then we got to Pisa, where we are now. And we parked the car in one piece. However, they had no signs from the freeway saying exactly how to get there. And we had to drive around randomly and go the wrong way up some one-way streets until we finally saw a sign. And to make it doubly tricky, they changed the name. Sometimes they call it the Tower of Pisa, sometimes they point towards the cathedral, sometimes they call it the name of this square.
And the colour of the sign kept changing.
And the traffic, my heart's still at about 400, 450 beats per minute. But we made it. It was just tricky because it's very hard to see the signs. Like you come over a bridge and you're on a hill and there's cars everywhere and there's three ways, left, right, straight, and you don't actually see the sign until you're halfway through the intersection. But we did it. Anyway, there we go. Okay. Sarah wanted to pay the €15 to go in. $25 odd. I guess it was worth it. However, there was a 2-hour wait, which is rather sad. So we can't. Because we've got a big drive this afternoon. When you look at it from here, you can see how amazingly off-centre it is. Some other nicer things in the square. These other churches over here, but we haven't got in. Like, there was one, got this ticket, it was like, for one of the 5 other things it was €1, and 2 was €2, and this ticket including the museum and history and stuff was like €8, and just for the tower it was 15. But that's what the people would do. It's quite a pretty square, really.
Sorry?
It's a pretty square, isn't it? Hummer, having gone through souvenir place, it really looks impressive, doesn't it? Just I think there's full of other nice buildings. In particular, this dome, which I'm just going to zoom in on for a bit. Millions of tourists. Oh, hello. Why are you pointing at me?
So Scott, tell me, how much has it moved in the last 10 years and how many months?
About 6. About a centimetre off vertical.
Is that all?
Yep. Because it said in the book it drops a millimetre a year. Okay, brief hot dog stop against against the dome of Pisa. I'm just trying to zoom in on these. They're rather nice.
Yeah.
This is around the far side. Wing Tower's behind there. There's another likely lightweight stone or marble building. I'm being lazy and not going in anything. You're not allowed to sit on the grass like that, ladies. And you can pay to walk up around the wall of this central piazza. Which is a pity because it'd be lovely to have you sitting down in the grass. And the sky has cleared up, hasn't it? It is quite nice now.
Yeah, we're on the road from Pisa to Naples. And this is the first bit of brown that I think we've seen the whole trip.
Oh, that's what you mean by brown.
Yeah.
Yes, I see.
I was just surprised to see it out here.
We're off a tollway, it's a bit slower now.
But the scenery's changed a bit. The hills have gone
We left
at the
Tuscany.
moment. And the pollution is a hell of a lot better here than it was here.
And we're fairly near the ocean. Yeah, you're right.
Action. Here's Scott looking cool, driving the car in Roma.
Yes, look at all the license plates.
I might be able to zoom up in on that. It's not focusing very well.
And I want you to note that people say driving in Rome is scary, but look, what's scary about this?
We're actually on a ring road trying to get exit to where we want to go.
Oh, look at the dent on that car.
Yeah, you can see it. Nearly every single car has got some sort of a problem of some sort. Very few do you see without at least some sort of scratch. At least a bumper's been hit for sure. Actually, the one in front's looking pretty good, but you can bet your bottom dollar on the front something's wrong with it.
Quick, home in on that sign. See, very few foreigners would attempt something so stupid. We have 17 kilometres till our turn off for Naples, which we expect to reach sometime in the Christmas, January, New Year break. We can't show you any of Rome's great sights because we're a little bit far away. We can show you some nice old-fashioned flats and apartment blocks. Oh, we've just hit second gear briefly. You showed them Rome on the left.
That's Rome on the left. You can't see much.
There's a gap. I don't know why it's so famous, really.
There's a lot of building. Oops. Sorry about that, everybody.
We're in this fairly amazing youth hostel in Aversa, which is New Pompeii, way off the tourist track. We got atrociously lost. The streets are amazing. It didn't feel safe. We'll just try and stick it through. Getting much darker early, as you can see. People think they're washing out. We'll get some other parts. The youth hostel inside is beautiful. Not many people speak English. We've needed lots of help, and they've tried their best. Not that we can speak any. It is.
Just point out that we're not filming outside because it's too scary out here.
Yeah, it seems scary, though no one has actually approached us. In fact, very scary. But this guy tried to show us, and then another guy who was walking with a priest offered to show us. We thought, if he can't trust him, who can we trust? And then this place, and I'll show outside later, is really nice. It's just bizarre.
We're on our way to the island of Capri. That's Naples. I've got a train to Naples. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a spot outside. It's too hot.
Aqui tá bom.
So we just made the boat.
Essa aqui tá sobrando.
Eles não querem não, eles querem ficar lá em cima. Você avisou que quer ficar?
Eles saem daqui, vão pra lá, pra ficar vendo.
Ah,
Tá na roupa, né?
não quero ver nada no calor. Tá bom. Não tá dando, tá muito embaçado, né? Pra ficar vendo, né?
I'm just taking a shoot through the window of our ferry, which is seen in the Isle of Capri. And those mansions. Those mansions up on the top of that hill. This is the main part. Sorry, the window's a bit dirty. We're heading back to the mainland. It's been actually a 50-minute ferry ride. Taking us a while to get ourselves here. I'm hoping to go up to this famous grotto, but with the crowds it could be a bit of a challenge.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's lovely. We're going around the island. We are 70 cents short of cutting back the hill to get into the grotto. Someone will lend it to us. I was worried because we don't have the money, but I wanted to buy some water because we didn't have any.
Alla quale parte una scala chiamata la scala Fenice, con 800 scalini che vanno da Villa San Michele fino a Marina Grande. And in front of us on top you see the big mountain of the island, the name is Monte Solaro, 600 meters over the sea. And on top you see the white villa, the name is the Villa San Michele, the name is myself of the doctor Axel Luther. And in the rocks there is the steps, the name of the step is Venetian step. 800 steps to Villa San Michele to Marina Grande.
Look at that motel down there. To get into the grotto. I don't exactly know where the grotto is, but you can see all these buses. This American couple lent us €1 because we were short. Look at all the boatloads of people. Just phenomenal. No, I haven't. Yeah, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? Oh, you're going there? Good grief. I could win a prize on Funniest Home Videos for this. There we go.
Yeah, we're back. Very cute to watch.
Oh, I see. You got to queue up there to pay your. Very cramped conditions getting into the grotto. He's hoping all goes well. Hey?
Sunshine under us, here's the sun that comes. It's a natural order, right?
You got the camera.
Yeah,
It's impressive.
it is, isn't it? Wow. Pretty amazing.
And back there, doesn't it? Yeah, alright.
Look out at the ceilings.
Yeah. I wish I could take a photo, but it won't work.
Sorry?
I wish I could take a photo, but it won't work.
Why?
Everything all right? Yep. And special scene, good job, huh? sein.
Interesting. We're on the internet for quite a bit of time, and we're a little bit cramped, so given we'd already paid $12, we kept going on and on about a tip. But the other Americans on the boat, they gave him some money, which is just ridiculous. Telling us, people on the cruise are telling us how much expensive it is when you do the day trips from the cruise. It's so much cheaper to do it on your own. Other boats following us.
Signori, di fronte a voi vedete il versante ovest il comune di Anacapri, North of Axis, the west side of the island, town of Anacapri, legal side of the island, 4,000 people. Il versante ovest, il comune di Anacapri, lato più agricolo, più artigianale, con i suoi 4.000 abitanti rispetto agli 8.000 di Patria.
Hey Rob, tell me if you see the cable car. Up to the top of the mountain. Cut out the mountainside.
Nice house right there. Oh, right up there. So, right house right up there.
Oh wow. Can you hand me that blue book? Oh, never mind. Robert, go this way. There's a really nice lighthouse. Take a picture.
It's like that road up there.
Come in.
See that?
What's that?
See that road way up there?
The what?
The castle.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
Going around the West Point now. Very amazing, isn't it?
Sorry?
Very amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like that. Look at that cracky.
Amazing, isn't it? That might be a grotto in there, I reckon.
Yeah, it's very small.
Sorry?
All those stalactites up there.
Yeah.
Big.
No photos. Not taking photos. Look at all the birds up there. Oh, so we went around the island. Oh, so. Can't believe how high up that is.
Tra poco giungeremo nella bellissima grotta verde, caratteristica per il suo colore dell'acqua, sembra quasi un cristallo liquido. And in 2 minutes we approach over the green grotto. The characteristic of this grotto is the emerald color of the water.
Look at the boats lined up. I just can't believe it. Height of those cliffs. So green now. It's shallow. Well, a little shallow. I think we're using all the tape up on this too.
We've got plenty more.
It does look good. I'll probably put the cameras down first. Good. Oh, we're going back in. Okay, at some point here, we're going to need to stop.
right up here.
Really nice, huh? I'll learn to speak Italian pretty quick.
If you live here, it'd probably come pretty quickly.
Kelly, did you see Hale? Have you got that little gray shop?
I forgot about that part. That arch down there. See what's over here?
Castello Top there is the somewhat western zone, solid e fasce style. Signori, preparatevi per il bacio, I'm ready. Lo dico io al mio train, which my train. And one, and two, and three, kiss bacio. Signori, basta, non esagerate, però stop please. Volevo dire che coloro che si sono dati il bacio sotto l'arco, questa notte le proprie consorti rimangono incinte. Riuscivo in testa di alcune, per la extremamente pregnant.
Sarah.
Signori, tra poco vedrete dinanzi a voi le rovine dell'antico porto di Tragana, primo porto naturale dell'isola di Caio. And in front of us you see the ruin of the first natural harbor of the island, the name is Tragana Harbor.
Well, I've been doing a bit of Capri, but it's a pretty amazing island to go around.
Mentre signori, di fronte a voi vedete questa villa di colore rosso, era la casa dello scrittore toscano Curzio Malaparte. Lui era comunista, vedi che ha fatto costruire questa casa di colore rosso e a forma di falce e martello, i simboli del comunismo. Si alzate il vostro sguardo in alto, diritto di prua, 200 metri dal livello del mare, vedrete il famoso arco naturale dell'isola di Capri. Con un po' di fantasia la parte finale di questo arco sembra la testa di un elefante con il cavalluccio marino. And in front of us, 200 meters over the sea level, you see the natural arch of Island of the Brent. If you use a fantasy, the final part of the arch is same over the trunk of an elephant. guardate i colori del mare,
Oh, bad.
veramente.
That big one there, that's it. Yeah.
Tra qualche minuto giungeremo nella bellissima grotta bianca, caratteristica per le sue stalactiti e stalagmiti, di cui una di esse, diversione del vento e del mare, da moderata fino a far prendere le sembianze di una Madonna che prega. La vedrete da poco, alle milioni di stalactiti and stalagmite, and one of them looks like a Madonna to Virgin Mary. The same side of the cave, on top, behind or the fence. In alto, signori, dietro la balaustra, on top, behind or the fence.
There are people in there. I wonder how they got in there. Which you can see there. This is where we left from, so we circumnavigated the island. We've taken an hour and 3/4 just about, as they said. It's pretty good. It's really amazing. We were lucky there was a €6 trip just to that Blue Grotto and back. We found this €9 one that went around. This was a much better buy. The ATM's broken, we've run out. Too expensive. Look at everybody down there playing. We'll go down for a swim ourselves soon. Continuing on our walk up to we're not quite sure where. Just looking down. It's amazing. Sarah likes looking at everybody's backyards. As we've taken the cute little side road to, we're not exactly sure where. All we know is that it goes up. Picturesque, however. The town on the top. I don't know if you can see, but it's miles down. Everybody's having a look at the view. And we believe we've found an ATM machine. Walked up all these stairs, there's all these people here. Soon Sarah will emerge from the building beside me. There's a smile on the face. And the answer is...
We have cash.
Woo! Houston, we have money. A little more of a look. Everyone's going to be sick of Capri by the time they get through this. We've just had a bit of pizza for lunch. And found a bargain bottle of Coke. There's the vernacular you can take here. There's another one over the other side. And that's looking down. We're going to go for a swim. This is all Capri. There's another town called Anacapri over those mountains. We're not going. They have these cool taxis that are almost like a station wagon with the whole back part taken off. So the driver's enclosed and the other people aren't, and heaps of people use those. Whereas of course the tough ones like Sarah and myself, we go on foot.
Here we are. Scott's about to go in and swim with the masters. We tried to find somewhere else, but this seems to be the area with the least people. Over here there's 600. And the waters are all a bit murky, so we chose where we are now. Unfortunately, because we got our cameras and things and money, we have to go in one at a time. There he is. People in the way.
Waiting for it and go under. Not that warm by any means, it's not that cold. Oh, and we have takeoff. My goodness, she's swimming back to me. She didn't swim in the Mediterranean in the east, but she's being brave and doing it with the sea. Oh, she looks happy too. Oh. We're not at one of the great beaches, we're right in front of the marinas. You can probably see over there. It's all pebbles and it's very busy, but we don't have time to go around to any of the other beaches, so we thought we'd stay here. It's funny, these pebble beaches, at least you don't get sand in your feet. But it's infinitely less comfortable. The water wasn't that warm, I thought it'd be warmer than that, but I think we used 26 degree pools, so it was something more like 21 or 22, probably warmer. Alright, last close up and then away we go. So everybody at home. A little bit. This is getting quite close to Naples. Very hard to see. Very hazy. Anyway, some of the city there. It's in there a little bit. Oh yeah, a little bit different to the pictures in the tourist brochure.
We're currently on the autostrad heading to Pompeii, and as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 lanes of traffic. However, there really is only room for 2. The rest is slip lane. People just kind of make up their own lanes and away they go.
You missed some earlier excitement. People were moving like you just wouldn't believe. Oh, we're actually in the outer side of Naples. We've had we've been going for well over an hour, covering about the 30 kilometres we had to go because the signs aren't so good anymore.
Well,
And
look
this
at this
person,
woman shop straight in front of you.
might just be because everybody's merging, you don't know. It's actually quieting down as we turn it on.
Oh, he's close.
Fuck him.
They all live so close to the air. Oh, that was a motorbike going through the slip lane very fast. So close to the autostrad. Terrible. Still not moving very much. Unfortunately, we keep missing all the excitement on the video camera. Just as I turn it off, something drastic happens. But anyway.
It's very, very I don't know what's causing this. Sorry. It was only like 30 kilometres this morning. We've been gone over an hour.
You can see that wall there. I'm assuming that's from all this smog and stuff. It's just black.
When we walked through Naples to look at the traffic, it wasn't quite as scary as everybody said. Most people were stopping on the red lights. There were mopeds. Maybe 5 to 10% were wearing helmets, if that.
Tram.
And the tram. Oh, driving on the tram lines everywhere else.
If you blow on your horn, you can do anything you want.
Yeah, but see, it's not that scary. It's just slow traffic at the moment.
Yeah, you can't see it. But they're forming another lane and they're shoving us out to the
And
side.
there's like 75 people in that car beside us. And
Oh
just,
my goodness, look at this. You probably can't see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
just going straight.
6 people in a tiny car. Oh, maybe it's only 5.
I'm going to have to let him through. I don't want to, but
There's no choice.
2 more days with this rental car. Make sure I don't. Just trying to go through the middle again. At least they're wearing helmets on.
Oh, bunny ears on. Did you see that?
Yeah. Well, after a challenging drive and parking in what we hope is not too dodgy a space, we're now underground Pompeii. The book said that they have some very dodgy guides, so we're doing an audio tour, as you can see there. I should point out that you can see from here, through the smoke haze from Napoli, what we believe to be Mount Vesuvius. At least that's what the book said. I could of course be pointing this anywhere. The end of the temple, where I was only just a few seconds ago, where we come to the sneaking suspicion we're not the first humans to set foot here in 2,000 years. I'll just give you a bit of an audio guide. As I was saying, the tour guides have been considered perhaps dodgy according to the book. So, hence we're doing it by ourselves. Very amazing. The thing is, not elevated enough to see, it really does extend on for a vast distance in each direction, being a city of 20-odd thousand people. Behind this is where they seem to put collections of Greek wine vases, and other bits and pieces that they've dredged up There's a vast number of things, only a certain number of rooms are open, and sometimes you have to get special tickets. We didn't bother because we got enough of the gist of it. Ah, there's one of them there. That's it's an accidental made thing. The ash and lava buried it, and even though the body underneath is decayed, it stayed solid long enough. And that was a person in there who didn't make it out. He's taking additional walks down the streets. You got numbers there. It's a large arch. Tour groups are everywhere, but it's not so bad. Oh, one Sarah's just vanished. Ah, there you are.
Is that corrugated iron originating that bit of steel up there?
Yeah, absolutely. And that little water drain pipe is in the central atrium of each Roman's house. You can see the brick and then over the top cement, and the pictures it would have been there. I guess that was a rather deep fountain. Little garden. Very nice. One of the other rather popular houses. See that there's a big mosaic that's in quite good nick. Most of the good ones, sorry, mosaic frescoes, very nice. There's some mosaic on the floor. Some great ones of dogs. The roof is faked in here, but the rest of it's genuine. Just painting up close. It's been very amazing that it's really done up. Yep. This is the Grand Theatre. Was this about our third or fourth Roman theatre?
Yeah.
Dove
Stairs.
campanile termina la vecchia.
Down there was a temple.
Quindi potete vedere la massima estensione raggiunta la città vicino al campanile.
Stairs we come.
Prima
Theatre.
il primo villaggio finiva
And
prima
back there you can see bits and
quindi era
pieces
misura come la piazza del
of
Fondo.
the houses.
Questo è il teatro grande e quello piccolo, Odeon, è per musica.
Ma noi l'abbiamo visto da sopra.
Questo è il grande, il Roma è trasforma, come si chiama? La ferma dei gladiatori. Quindi i ragazzini abbiamo controllato e abbiamo fatto
Isis, who, as some of you may know, was actually Egyptian, not Greek or Roman, apparently had a bit of a cult following. And this inscription up here, using my staggering Latin translation, says that the money to restore this was given by a 6-year-old boy named something something, and they've managed to work out that his father was a slave, or freedman by then, and by giving this money his son was made an instant citizen of Rome and given a position on the local council, which as a freed slave he never could. And I'll just have a quick wander in here.
See, I'm impressed how much you got out of that little symbol there. The audio guy didn't affect you or anything, did he?
No, Shao! Jeez, Muir. Behind every great man is a woman just pulling him down, holding him back. Anyway, we presume this 6-year-old boy only lived for another 10 to 15 years, because that's when the earthquake was, the volcano was. It's quite good. There are pictures over there of what some of it looked like when first excavated in 1760. So we're going to take some photos of some paintings that have survived. Just imagine how colourful this would have been. You can see they put plastic shading and colour bond to protect everything. It's quite annoying that some of the places are closed. We're trying to head towards the Colosseum of Pompeii. And these are the stepping stones, which I think I've told everybody about. And we're going to go that way. It's pretty hot. We've managed to forget our hats. We're running low on water. And every single one of these fast food joints we go to doesn't serve us diddly squat. This was a new sports ground / military training parade with a big swimming pool in the middle, shaded on 3 sides. It's quite amazing. Well, pity you can't walk in it anymore. They were telling us that there are lots of inscriptions and scribbles and graffiti on the wall. It's nice in the shade. Sarah in Europe photo. Again, looking up from the parade ground, or down onto the parade ground / swimming pool. So I'm here, which is of course the amphitheatre or Colosseum.
One in Rome in better condition than this?
You must have seen pictures of the Colosseum.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yes and no is the answer. It's much higher, much bigger, but the bottom of it's missing. You don't have a floor of the Colosseum. There's just what you can see is underneath where they used to keep the animals and the slaves.
Okay.
Oh, this is great. This is the view you want to find on the top. Behind there is the modern city of Pompeii. Still smoky and cloudy, as you can tell. Smoky. And that is actually Mount Vesuvius, but you can barely see it as an outline. And it's only 13 kilometres away. And there's a way of getting down there, which we'll have to do. Myself stabbing my enemy, i.e. the plastic bag I'm holding. I followed these American ones down and came in here. And it's like, I think this is how the lines came out, because it's about 4 foot high and you have to crouch. You're not going to be able to see much here. It's, you won't be able to see anything. Steps and there's a little cage up on the right there. It's titchy tiny. I think the gladiators would have come in through that entrance, or the other one. It was cute. And it's a heck of a hike down the steps. And also we're getting fairly impressively sunburnt. It's pretty amazing being here, because in England you go a long way and you see a little Roman ruin and you think, wow, that's 2,000 years old, but here it's the whole city. Like, you sort of do that, you think. Someone built that, I think they said 1st century BC. And it's still pretty amazing, given they had an earthquake and volcanoes. They've got records of about 20 eruptions of Mount Vesuvius since 79 AD. And it's very short, as you can see. The people having to really crouch to get in and out of there. Oh, I lost track of Sarah. Yeah, she's down there somewhere.
Scott would like a mock fight, so I'm going to set one up here. Ready?
You're going to actually hold the camera yourself.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah, alright.
Ah!
Oh, sorry.
Yes, that was very successful. I lost.
This is the entrance to the bar, but I don't know. Oh yeah, you can see the ceiling is quite ornamented. It's surprising. This is one of the few seemingly original roofs, I think. I actually sat on those seats 10.5 years ago. Maybe this car's still a slave or someone that didn't get away. Here's the thing, right? Oh, a couple of people.
And the turpid,
The flange.
And the bars themselves, like we saw in Bath. Look at the hole in the ceiling. Pretty amazing, isn't it?
This is the open air pool.
Says Sarah with the audio guide. Cunningly named, and you still see some pictures on those walls. Because it was open to the elements. Pool would get a bit dirty, you reckon, wouldn't it?
I'm thinking maybe like right here, like that direction.
Decorations on the wall.
Esempio di Giove.
Mira,
Allora
Carlo tiene.
esiste Giove. Solo poco di Giove secca.
The Temple of Apollo, that's not the original statue that's in April. Quite amazing, isn't it? A long way down the path, trying to get towards the other bars. Having driven for an hour without getting lost, we've arrived at a place where, luckily for Sarah, there are no more Roman ruins to look at. Instead we're at Greek ones. This is a temple at Pastium. It's built in the 6th century BC and is in pretty good nick considering.
Oh, look at the one over there.
Ah, and we've just discovered another one over there. There's lots of ruins around, but these are in good condition.
Third pillar across from the right, it's not looking too healthy.
Oh, I see, yeah, they've done something to strengthen it. It's amazing.
Oh, they have to.
You can see where they've done some metal straps in some of them. Still, it's in pretty good nick. We were just driving and we were following the signs which weren't too bad, and sometimes we make some hair-raisingly late turns left or right. And one Sarah says turn right, and then she sees another sign, she goes no, straight, so of course off I go with the indicator on. And finally, after a few of these iterations, I said, look, I'm going to pull over until we're sure in the right direction. And then Sarah said, look right. So I looked right. And that was what I saw. And in here is a little lizard. That's a pain because Sarah wants a photo and I moved and made noise and it ran away. So if I can't get it on film, I'm in trouble. Deep, deep trouble. Come on.
Oh, that's going to scare it even more.
Yeah, I know, but he's scaring in the open. It's quite a decent part of the city. Let's see what else is there to report in the world. As Sarah would tell you in the diary, shops have been something of a challenge. And at that strange youth hostel, which you didn't get enough video of, they didn't really have anybody around to give us breakfast. But we had some bottled water and a tiny bit of chocolate. And then, as Rachel Harrington will verify, one lives on gelato and water because it's too hot. You don't need solid food. Mind you, they got a pizzeria a dime a dozen, which we're rather enjoying, although Sarah's a bit overwhelmed because she's not a bread person. And we go to these restaurants, like last night where we gave away 5 of those pins, and the guy was thrilled because everybody there was interested because there was no tourists around. And he had no idea what's on the pizza you order. The only thing we could recognise in the menu was bruschetta, and it was very good, wasn't it?
Very yummy.
It was like swimming in olive oil, and it was real good olive oil. There are a couple of signs around which are both in Italian and English, which is good, so we can read them. Oh, this is interesting. Looks like they're doing some repair work on the big temple over in the corner. This looked like something fairly substantial at one point. It's amazing the difference in the number of tourists. It's like a baby Stonehenge, isn't it? Mini Stonehenge. Ah! Luckily I'm totally cool, calm and collected under pressure, or I could have uttered a rude word then. People watching this in future generations will note that not only did my wife force me to drive through Italy on ring roads around Rome and Naples that were blocked up, but having done this successfully, or close enough, she then tries to scare me when I'm sightseeing. Good grief. Okay, we've now come to what remains of the amphitheatre the Romans built here after they took over in 200 and something BC. And the interesting thing is most of the rest of it is under the road where those people were walking up there, and we walked earlier. I was saying this was built in the Julius Caesar time, and it was a relatively early, fully circular amphitheatre. It is relatively high there, away from the seat, so the animals could not jump up and hurt the spectators. Then again, we've seen a better amphitheatre today, haven't we?
We have.
Yeah. Oh, trip over something. Oh, that was the stairs up to the back of it. It was built in a few stages like most things. Must have been a major street given the amount of brick. Sarah taking a breather. Major temples. I was saying that the Romans, they had started to run down by the time the Romans took over a mere 2,300 years ago, and they improved it and added some. They can tell which bits are Greek and which are Roman. The city still continues behind us. As you can see, back through those trees is the original one, so we're a couple hundred metres away from it. It's just ruins everywhere. They got the monster columns. Oh, I'll tell Sarah the trick I learnt when I was at Athens. See how at the bottom they're slightly thicker than at the top? The stone, because they discovered a trick with the eye that from a long distance that looks even, that looks straight, where up close you don't. There's just some thing your eye does. If you had everything exactly the same diameter, it wouldn't actually look the same from a long distance. So we were told. Okay, looking back behind the second temple and over towards the third one. Let's walk away and see if we think those columns look straight from a distance.
I want to read the sign first.
Oh, okay. Something's going on in there. Oh. like it goes under the road. You can just make out mountains in the background. It's hard because it's still a bit smoggy. Before we head off to the museum. I love that picture of the temple hiding coming out from between the two trees. Sarah was wondering why everything else is kind of knocked down, but the temples are in quite good nick. Interesting question. Well, it's time for a little story while Sarah's in the shower. This is our motel room in Rome. We're a fairly big hike out of the city. But to be here at all is a relief. You know that bit in the movie Gladiator when Russell Crowe's sister, the guy playing the Emperor Marcus Aurelius, there was a dream once that was called Rome. I feel a little bit like that now. We got to Salerno an hour early. We got the car back in one piece, which was a miracle, and we got stuck in a jam. The sign suddenly disappeared to take the back road we wanted, and we ended up on the freeway, which was jammed for half an hour due to roadworks. Anyway, Sarah found a sneaky way back onto the back road. We had to go through Salerno, which is quite big for 130,000 people, and we got there, and we got the car back, and we were feeling pretty happy. Then, showing all of the stuff we've got here. At 11:42 there was no train, and there was some announcement. 10 minutes later a train appeared. Everybody climbed onto the train. Now on the platform there was no sign, but we checked downstairs. There's a big piece of paper saying all departures and arrivals. It's sort of written up. They had them at the train stations, and it said Rome Express 11:42 via Napoli. We got on, and we couldn't find our seat number because it was reserved as an express, and we asked some people and they kept saying Napoli, so we instantly grabbed our bags, headed to the door, which shut, and they wouldn't open. And then we discovered we were on the wrong train. This was somewhat annoying. A youngish guy came and he had a timetable. He didn't speak English, but he tried to tell us, point to a map to say we'd get to Napoli at 12:50 and that there would be other trains to Rome. He was showing us times. But our ticket was for a set train, set seats, etc. And along one of the intermediate steps between Salerno and Napoli, we think our train overtook us because it was a sleek flash one. We got to Napoli at 12:50, where we'd actually been at the Isle of Capri, so we actually knew this train station, which was something of a blessing. And on the board there was a train at 1:30 going to Milan, which I guessed had to go through Rome, and I checked up and it did. So we go towards this 1:30 train, which was only going to make us an hour late, and this guy comes up to us and he says ticket, so we showed him the ticket and he said something in Italian, and we tried to explain the problem at Salerno and he led us on. Oh, we thought, well, that's good. And then he wanted a tip, so because he led us on we gave him €5 and then off he ran. And then Sarah said to me, was he a conductor? I thought, yeah, I didn't see his badge, so I chased after him. He had no badge. He's just these poor official or unofficial that puts people's bags on and tries to get money out of it. Anyway, by that time we were on the train. No one came for the seats. Luckily they weren't reserved, and the train took off. So even if they find us, at least we were going to Rome. Ticket conductor came an hour later, and he's just stamped our tickets, and that was it. So we get to Rome. That was only an hour late. Then we made information to ask the way to our motel here. Now the problem was, we chose this one because my work was going to shout me the motel room, and I had to use this website, and this was the cheapest by a long way. It was still $80 a night. The other ones are all over 100. And it's on the Via Salaria, which is a huge long road which is actually built by the Romans. Of course it's now concrete and whatever. Anyway, it turns out that it's at 1060 line Via Salaria, which is not on the city side. And information claimed we'd have to try and get 3 separate buses. After quite a while we rang the motel, and they gave us a metro and then just a single regional bus. So then all we had to do was get the metro tickets, and this was a challenge. The machines weren't working. These sleazy guys hit on Sarah, and then the information people for the metro, not for the main rail, were useless. They just didn't care. Sarah went up and down, and when she went up to the tobacco shop to buy them, but more sleazy guys went to her, and I was stuck with the bags. Finally we go back to, which wasn't working. We managed to extract 2 tickets, and it was a busy subway, but we got on it. Then we get to this place. Then we have to find the bus. Now these regional buses, one turned up and he told us, no, you go to this stop. So we went to this stop. Then one turned up and he said, oh yeah, he sort of said close enough to this place, and he said ticket over there. So he pointed, so Sarah runs over. This guy rips her off, giving her change for a 5, not a 10, which is a classic trick they do here in Rome. Sarah was really mad. Then the real bus arrives and the guy didn't like our tickets, and Sarah's absolutely fuming. I'd already put them under the bus because it has space for luggage, being a regional bus. And we were absolutely mad. And then he says get on, so we climb on. The bus travels for not that far. Oh, by the way, taxis were quoting us at least 50 euros to get here, and they didn't do that. And then luckily, being that I saw the sign to the Via Salaria, and when we were looking for ages, suddenly we saw a number of 859, so we knew we were close. So I went up to the driver and I showed him the number, and he didn't seem that interested, but then he slowed down and he just pointed to me. So then we saw it. I'd seen a picture on the internet. So then Sarah very cleverly walked slowly to the exit, and I ran down the steps so that I could try and get out of luggage, and luckily you just push a button and it opened it, and I yanked out the bags, and then we saw it, and then I ran up just as the bus was pulling out to give him a thumb up to say at least thanks that he got us here in one piece. So after a hell of a day and a couple of rip-offs, we're only at €5 each, which is more nuisance than real pain value, we've made it. Now it's a great pity, unlike Paris we're not close to anything, but at least we're here. I'm sorry to say this is the first time Sarah hasn't enjoyed herself, and of course neither was I. It's very hard when one has to stay with the bags and one goes because it's too heavy carrying them around. But at least we're here, and nothing really bad has happened. We're just got one of those hop on hop off buses, plus $20 each, unlimited stops all day. You were right, by the way, you can get around all at once. Just show a bit of a Rome traffic. It's never busy enough. There is no system for foot. Pretty good little bus drive. We can take you through Rome. That's one, according to the lady, wall of the city built in late ancient Roman times. A gelati spot. We thought we were near some big fountain thing, which we'll go looking for. It's like a half an hour here. We've also searched for a bank because ATMs keep breaking down in Italy, so we're doing money like going out of style. Something to Pope Pius III. And 18, and there's big, again these are faked ones up there from the 19th century. I forgot which piazza we're in, but it's fairly pretty.
And there's Sarah having her healthy brekkie, which I sort of briefly videoed from the other side into the Piazza del Piccolo, something of that general nature, which is this square, which is rather nice, with sort of very modern fake Roman stuff, and an obelisk with hieroglyphics on it, which may or may not be genuine. The cross on the top wouldn't, and a couple of dome churches behind. It's rather interesting. It might be a bit bright to see up there. It's a nice little place, and it says Pius VII Pontifex Maximus.
Il Pincio, un parco pubblico realizzato dalle Palladier, delle quali si gode un'ottima vista su Roma. Costituito da un tumolo, una sorta di collina con cipressi, su cui era posta la stola bronzea dell'imperatore. On the right, you can see the Augustus Mausoleum. It was a circular monument, 87 meters in diameter. Il tumolo is sorgeville with cypresses, in which the bronze statue of the emperor stood. Da ricordare che un mausoleo rappresentava per i romani ciò che una piramide era per gli egizi, una tomba per l'imperatore e la sua famiglia. Di fronte all'entrata principale vi erano due obelischi, posti oggi uno è in piazza Santa Maria Maggiore, mentre l'altro è a piazza del Quirinale. Remember that the mausoleum was for Romans, like a pyramid for Egyptians. It means a tomb for the emperor and his family. In front of the main entrance there were two obelisks to emphasize the importance of it. Today one is in Piazza Santa Maria Maggiore and the other one is in Piazza del Quirinale. We will see them at the end of the tour.
Okay, I may have actually been here last time, but I remember when they passed us. This is actually an old Roman arch. Underneath is a Roman road. You can see how the city's being built up over what was there before, which is pretty amazing. You can see hidden down through there all that stuff. There's a little picture down there. I don't know if we'll be able to read what it says. Oh, the Emperor Domitian. Yay, the zoom lens. Maybe it was an arch of Domitian. He wasn't much of an emperor anyway. They've jumped off the bus again to get to Piazza Navona. Probably pronouncing that incorrectly. Seems to be empty up large numbers of piazzas with beautiful statues in them. And yet another obelisk. You can get a horse lift if you want, but we don't. It's quite good. McDonald's through there, I think. Another little square with another little obelisk. You'd think we're in the middle of Egypt, wouldn't you? Another fountain, which I happen to quite like. But the main reason we've come here... The Pantheon built by Marcus Agrippa. I can actually read that inscription. It became a Christian church and generally regarded as the best preserved of the ancient Roman buildings still here because of the fact that the Christians kept it as a church. So it had a big bronze ceiling above the dome, which you can't see because we're too close, which some pope melted down. And it had a few other things pinched, but it's not in bad nick. Boom, boom. Hey, this is inside the Pantheon, which as you can tell has became a Catholic church, I think in 400 or 500 AD. And otherwise looks like a general church. It's quite a big dome. There's a little bird flying, I don't know if you can see it. There's the decorations up there. Oh, it's got a hole in the top so it can rain. Should be pretty interesting. Wouldn't rain inside many churches. Must have had it set up for an audience. You see the sign, there's some drains in the floor. Sorry?
Just listening in onto somebody's guide, it talks about how outside it all is square, so you expect it to be square, but when you come in it's actually round.
True?
Very true.
That'd be interesting. I wonder what's guarded there. Something relatively important. Ah, the tomb of the unknown soldier. Or something perhaps. I don't remember guards here last time. Where all those people are standing is the tomb of Victor Emmanuel II, one of the kings. And that's what, over there where the other guards were. There's the tomb of another king. And where those people are underneath there is the tomb of Raphael. And just zooming up for a second. Oh, I don't know if you can get it. There's some great beam of light coming through the window. Oh yeah, you can see it. That looks really good actually.
The Catholic principal church built over the tomb of the Apostle Peter, crucified in 64 after Christ. Sulla basilica domina la cupola di Michelangelo, che alla morte dell'artista fu ultimata da Giacomo della Porta e Domenico Fontana. È alta 132 metri, la più alta in Europa. The Great Dome was planned by Michelangelo and built by Giacomo della Porta and Domenico Fontana. It's 132 meters high, the highest in Europe. Chiesa cattolica l'intera comunità cristiana. The colonnade's grandiose oval is one of the Bernini's principal masterpiece, and it was planned and built between 1656 and 1667 as an embracing welcome of the Catholic Church for all the Christian community.
Okay, now there's a monster building here, which is meant to look ancient Roman. Victor Emmanuel's monument to himself in reunified Italy. Apparently the Italians don't like it much. They call it the typewriter or some such thing like that. It's actually where their tomb of their unknown soldier is. It's a lovely square. There's some steps you can go up to get a good view, which you might do in a quick walk. This is a pretty vast monument. It's very detailed. Just zoom in there, sorry. Very, very detailed. There in that brown building, which at one point housed popes and others, Mussolini lived, and on that little creamy balcony to the left of the brownie building is where he delivered his speeches, trying to look all dramatic like Hitler, on the side of the area of course. There's some Roman soldiers where you can pay money to get your photo taken. Sarah says no way, but I'll con her into it. Well, con her into letting me do it, I should say. And back over here, where's Sarah? Just there, in fact. There's some Roman monuments. I've forgotten the name of this one, but if you look just very closely, all the way up, it is super detailed. We'll zoom out again. All the way up to the top, and there's another big church behind. There's so many churches, it's not funny. And down in here, a Republican era monument's being dug up. Temples and the like. It's just amazing just to see it down there. There's a gate open, but I presume you're not allowed to walk around. I guess we'll find out in a minute. Oh no, it must be up through here. It's a much more fun day today. We've managed to catch all our buses and stuff just in time. Haven't had any problems. There's some trees we can climb up behind it. Batting and not allowed down. Just amazing in the middle of a very busy street. They're sort of everywhere. Sarah's very Romaned out. After Pompeii, Pastium, Florence and this, it's definitely getting to that point.
What is?
You
What are you
being
saying about
Romaned
me?
out.
Yes, it is. But you haven't even started, have you? You haven't even touched the surface.
I'm about 1% of the way there. Not even challenging finding them anymore. We just crossed the road from where we were behind the Victor Emmanuel II monument, and they're just excavating more areas around here for old Roman stuff. There's just bits of chiseled marble lying everywhere. Now one of the things across that road, which we just crossed, back the other way, there was just bits of chiseled marble and people using them as seats. Like they just sat there. There was about what, 5 of them, and you could tell they were marble by the smooth feel of them, and then they all had bits of varying designs, and they're just now being used as seats. It's just really amazing. I mean, gee whiz.
Oh, you haven't gone that far.
With me. I think so, but I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember hearing there was 3. Oh, that's a Circus Maximus. This is all there's left of it. What? I remember I've driven past it before, and it's turned up for really long. Because remember it was for chariot racing, not football racing.
On the left, the Circus Maximus, the biggest panorama, is said that there were horse rides. This will contain 300,000 people, and the right, a beautiful roses garden. On the left again, Palatine Hill, one of the 7 hills of Rome, an archaeological place where you can find the majestic ruins of the emperor's residences and also houses of the most important people in the past, such as Cicerone.
Look how long it is. They said it's had much more people than Colosseum, so it must have been built up a lot at one point. Yeah, no, that's all it's left. I wish we were at the front now. I wish they covered the city properly. Every time I move on, I think it's the same way. Oh, ruins. And the back side of it. There's the forum. Sarah has been waiting for all of her life. Ah, whoops, you can't see it. There's a little arch through there where those people are coming down. This is the Forum of Rome, the market square, the happening place. And the place that was closed the day I was here before, which only slightly irked me. Up on the left is the Palatine Hill where the palaces were, one of the 7 hills of Rome, and the Temple of the Vestal Virgins and countless other things. We actually bought a ticket there. There was this monster queue at the Colosseum, and it was €8, and it didn't include the Forum. So we walked to the Forum. It's quite warm. Oh, this is the Senate, I believe, on the right. We'll get out the map in a bit. And I thought that was the original doors, but they're actually copies. The original doors were moved. I'll have to check in my book if that is in fact it. Anyway, then we get to this other place. We go up to the ticket office and say we'd like a ticket for the Forum. She said it's free. And we said, no. She goes, but I'll sell you a ticket to the Colosseum if you want. So in about 2 seconds, we got our Colosseum ticket instead of the monster queue. Hey, that's real archaeologist.
Archaeologist?
Oh. Love it, love it.
a little bit and sick through.
How exciting. As if working in the hot conditions of Rome in summer's not bad enough, tourists like me gawk at them and take videos of them going through the ruins. It would probably annoy the hell out of me if I was one of them. Sorry? Yeah. Wow. I wonder if they'll let me join them. I'll dig for free. Oh, look at that! The lady up in front. She's got the hat. See that with the little cupids by Botticelli? Yeah, not Botticelli. Raphael. Look at this marble from ancient Rome just sitting there. So you can tell, I think, that they were the palaces. There were several palaces built successively. This was some monster temple which was Christianized by the little cross on the... Am I zoomed in too far now, right? You can see the popularity of the shade and people sitting on spits. See there on that little marble thing, those 3 holes? Yeah, that book Dad bought me on in here. Right? Oh, so well, yeah, but 3 main ones. That was actually, they had this claw machine, that's how they lifted them up, using ropes and pulleys. And it was done like that, and then when it went on top of each other, the other one would slip in place using this notch here. And that's how they lifted them up, because it had been too heavy to lift by hand. Sarah's overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of the history here. Look at it. Look at this.
Have a seat, Graham.
It's very smooth.
Yeah, we gotta get a picture of you guys here.
Look at that, Sarah, they're using it as a seat. Oh my goodness, it's amazing, isn't it? All the rocks are sitting there. It's very surprising just to sit there and wander around and touch it and sit on it. These are other arches. Reasonable amount, about half. I've got the 1 hour battery in reserve. Sorry. Alright. I have more tapes. It's quite interesting and it's free, isn't it?
I reckon we may as well just come here instead of Pompeii. Well, not really. Different?
Yeah, I suppose. Well, yeah. Oops, sorry.
It's alright.
Yeah, we spent some money in Pompeii.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? I suppose it's the whole village there.
What was a Roman Senate and then eventually became a Christian church. This is the famous doors that are copies.
From Luminalis, the Latin name of this tree. Okay. Well, last thing, you see this bronze door, which unfortunately are just a copy. The original bronze door of Curia are perfectly preserved and are serving as holy doors in the second Basilica of Rome. In reality, it's the Cathedral of Rome, San John in Lateran. If you go to San John in Lateran, which is a very important church of Rome, the second for importance after St. Peter, you will see the holy door, which has got the same, all these each one's decoration. These are the original doors of Curia Julia, the first century before Christ.
Security is around here compared to Pompeii.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't let you in bits and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And it costs us a bomb to get in, whereas here it's quite good and it's free and you can basically
Wander around.
and walk all over it. Well, almost.
That arch up there is the top line, if you can read it, probably on tip or under it says the Senatus Populus Q Romanus. SPQR. That's the arch there. Just discovered some of them have got names on them. This is the Temple to Saturn. This is the Basilica Julia. I kept saying, wonder why they just leave these things here, but they're a dime a dozen. Oh, there's somewhere over there. It was saying in the book in the Middle Ages this was just a cow pasture. Amazing. You go there by the bricks there must have been a big temple right where we are now. And similarly one behind us where you can only see a couple of arches called the Colonnae Honorari. Should have read up more on my book before we got here. A second to work out where I was, but I think Casa della Vestali means House of the Vestal Virgins, which ipso facto must have been their house here. And there's many statues in varying corners. You're not allowed in this fence. But that's very hard to hold it steady. Sarah's being clever and having a bit of a rest in the shade. Mentioning no these little parts here are houses associated with it. Just for those of you who are feeling lacking in Roman monuments, that's through to the Colosseum, the arch we went under and the forum where we walked down, people doing the excavations, down towards the Senate and the Arch of Servius, and down the lower part of the Palatine Hill with a variety of buildings from a variety of eras. Pretty gardens. Just walking up on the Palatine Hill through the ruins, which are just everywhere, like down in there. Sort of down everywhere, down here. Luckily they have those little water things where you can cool your face off quite a bit. Statues and whatever. That I found around here. This large thing, the Domus Augustana. I'm not sure if this was the Palace of Augustus. Some major works going on. Everybody's walking rather slowly in the heat. Tell you what though, it's 100 times better with a hat over your head. Wow. Holy moly.
That's pretty impressive.
I'm glad we came up here. No, I don't think you can go down there either. Huge complexes up here. It's really vast. We're sort of walking on top of everything. Arrived in the Colosseum, or what's left of it. You can now walk through the middle, which you couldn't do when I was here before. They put a big platform in. The floor is gone, that's just all the underground stuff where the animals and the gladiators were kept. You can see how high it rose. Various churches stripped it down below all the brick. Like all the seating's gone.
Right?
It was quite a way down to the floor level, wasn't it? Oh, a gate down there. Yeah, you wonder, don't you? Geez, they had a lot of underground storage, didn't they? You can see that the floor of this is roughly the same as the forum over there, and this street's up all their way.
So the stage would be on top.
Yeah, we were on what's actually the, yeah. This is where animals and the gladiators were kept. And they had pulley systems to lift things up and down. So, they're doing a lot of excavation work here at the moment. There's no way up to the height bits except the lifts that we're walking towards. Just showing you the roof. This is around the side, which is that side there, which is the best preserved part.
That's right, we reckon the book was meant to be restored by 2002. Obviously, they quite recently got.
Well, it's not the end of 2002 yet.
No, I think it was like by January 2002.
Yeah, well.
I think I see something here.
That lift, that wasn't original. I don't remember that being there. Ah, there's some stairs. Would you like lift or stairs? Where do these stairs go? They go up. Oh dear. The camera battery about to disappear on us. This is the view down. I wonder when they're putting that big restored area where you can walk. They're still doing a lot of work on it. Like those seats there.
Take a picture. Okay.
Sarah's stuck trying to cross the road so she can get a sort of better aspect of the whole thing. Most remarkable thing. Very dirty from the outside. Further around there it's just all been stripped down. Yeah, some idea of how big it was from here. I don't know where all the marble went. We have to wander around there soon to get our bus for the next stop. Come back to the corner.
It's been a little bit higher.
We're back on the bus. One went early. We had our first miss even though we were in position well over 5 minutes in advance. But we got a good seat this time. It's a great view out there. Another pyramid. Obelisk. Pyramid rubbish. Wow. I think there's a stop here.
E di fronte a noi vi è anche la cupola di San Pietro, in fronte verso di St. Peter's Dome.
Yeah, but there's been some good ones. That one near the Pantheon was really good. Sarah and I are both underwhelmed by the alleged scariness of Roman traffic. We reckon lots of other places were just as scary as here. Particularly Caserta and Aversa and those areas down near Napoli. Looking down the streets in Rome. There's something different to have a look at.
Stop per via nazionale.
Looking for stay on streets of Rome, commerce and stuff. Remembering that the stock exchange is in Milan, not Rome. There's a nice church. There 10 Milan.
Risultato del 1882 centini on the left of the Palace of Exhibition. Dio tiene dice più piacentini. Come vedete questo palazzo non ha finestre. As you see, the palace has no windows because the sunlight comes from a lamp one situated at the top of it.
Please remind me to charge the battery tonight. Maybe traffic's restricted here, but it's pretty low. The other thing we've noticed is the amazing number of times they repeat the same names for streets. Every city has Milan Street, Venice Street, has streets named after Mark and John and Paul and Santos Burrito, etc., etc. A bit cosy.
Sulla vostra destra vi è anche il Palazzo del Viminale, progettato nel 1832 più piacentini. On the left there is also the Viminale Palace, built in 1882 più piacentini. Fronte a noi vi è la parte posteriore della Basilica di Santa Maria Maggiore, la più grande chiesa dedicata alla Madonna a Roma. In Tommaso there is also the Basilica of the Major Baptista, largest church dedicated to the Holy Lady of Rome. Questa basilica è chiamata dai romani Santa Maria della Neve o Basilica Liberiana, perché secondo la leggenda nel 356 il Papa Liberio segnala Madonna che gli disse dove fosse indicata durante il periodo estivo, cercando questi lavori di iniziare immediatamente. This basilica is also called by Romans Santa Maria of the Snow Liberiana because according to the legend that he died in 356, dreaming the lady appearing to him and told him to build a new basilica where the snow was falling down during the summertime. It happened and so the work started immediately.
We got it early, but it was a bit bright. We're in the sort of entrance foyer to St. Peter's Basilica. Sarah was impressed with the size of the colonnade. After a turn us around slowly. Just amazing when you see the pictures. There's birds flying. I'll just squeeze over here for a second. For those of you that have otherwise not seen it. It is a long way back there, through the obelisk to the other end. Michelangelo's Piazza. Just trying to zoom in on it. Sorry. Apparently it's got his only autograph on any of his sculptures.
On Mary's sleeve. On Mary's sleeve. Inside the piece on Mary's sleeve. Zoom in to the sleeve.
I am, depends if it
Could be on the back part. He was 22.
Just stop in a minute and quickly pan around St. Peter's Basilica. It is obviously the largest one. You sort of walk past each, or 4 mini domes in each corner. The roof is very well gilded. Oops. I'll just walk under one of the domes. It's very pretty up there. Very colourful. Rather vast and rather hard to take it all in.
Okay, let's look outside here and see if we can see.
No. Oh yeah, we're looking for the apparently famous bronze canopy that they pinched the bronze from the top of the Pantheon where we were yesterday, which of course annoys me. I really like the marble statue. There's another one here. I could have sworn I saw Pius the 10th breathe for a second. Okay, I'm going fly crazy. Benedict being the 15th. That's amazingly colourful, isn't it? I'm giving everybody kind of a glimpse of the idea of the size of this thing. It's monstrous. And continued on a little bit through. Still haven't reached the main dome. Hey, I imagine this is the bronze canopy that they took the bronze in the Pantheon from. It's a bit odd, to be honest. And this is the largest dome cathedral. I'm allowed to realise just how far up it is.
There's people up there. And again,
Really? Oh yeah. And this is down finally to the other end. Just huge. These to popes, so sort of zoom in quicker. See that Hadrian the 4th, 81 years, doesn't seem quite right. Geez, I went through a few in the 890s. This is a low level underground. And the Vatican or St. Peter's Church. There are many popes and saints buried here. on Paul the First. Paul the Sixth. It's interesting how some are very elaborate, some are very plain. I wonder whether it was the Pope's choice or the subsequent Pope. Oh, a little, let's go. That's Paul the First. Just standing out the front of the Vatican, or St Peter's Church, or has been inside for a while. See all the people lining up to go in. I'll just do a pan around first of all. Yeah, there are actually 4 columns, but they're designed so that when you look straight on, you only think there's one, but there are 4 behind each other, as you can see on the angles. An obelisk. Oh, I'm still in my pants when I'm in the Vatican. It is rather warm. Fountain and the remainder of the columns. There's up there all the people that have paid their money to climb the Capitol. The queue was long. You can do it. And the details on here are very good. Very close up. Let's zoom out to the temple, Sistine Chapel. All these major works of art. You can see the little flowers in the places because it's not polite to show bits of humans in this church. There's a vast amount here of them. Lovely pictures. Now, I'm never actually sure if this whole thing is the chapel or we're just on the approach to it. I think this is just the approach. Either they get covered with a flower or they just disappear. There's about 8 museums all covered under this one ticket.
Most of them are actually closed.
But most of them are closed. Another room.
1663. This is it.
Advanced tapestries.
These are huge. These tapestries are.
So you got tapestries. And you can't complain about the size of them, can you? You can't complain about the size of them. You might say they're not that. Pretty big, but they're huge.
They're still a great draftsman. So they opened up the
So it's a bit hard to get them all in one, so I'll just sort of do a general flick around. And there's just vast numbers. Oh, I see. Cute. Oh,
sorry.
I like these maps, they're good. Squizzy down there, they've got a... I know you won't be able to see it, I can't get close enough to the windowsill. Yeah.
Maybe they're worried some of the bits will fall off.
Could be. Here are some pictures, Sarah, coming up. We left the, shall we head in? The gallery of maps, and I believe we're about to enter the Sistine Chapel. One would imagine by the sheer density. They send us many pictures on the wall about how well they've restored everything in the last 10 years. Get rid of all the candle wax and stuff.
Represented the 19th century, and the Virgin Mary giving holy cup. Jesus, and then the Pope is incense to the Virgin Mary, and in the middle, the soul they are all documents.
Oh, this is the room of the Immaculate Conception.
The mission.
Some truly amazing bits and pieces, aren't there? The colours here are very nice. My goodness, we're still trying to find our way to the Sistine Chapel. Suddenly we're outside looking down on a car park around this big building. It has been something of an adventure. Maybe we'll find it soon. See how dark that is from all the candle wax, and up there where they've actually just cleaned it, and down here where they obviously haven't cleaned it yet.
Remember when you saw that I was talking to you about the Saint Basilica?
This is called the Hall of Constantine. Still haven't made it. There's another room, and we'll search for the Sistine Chapel, which was after all just some private chapel for a pope, and the later pope made it open to the public. Next room along, obviously in the middle of restoration work. This is the room of Heliodorus. Next room along, which is the room of the Signet Pierre. Very amazing. This room was all done by Raphael. Another room with very lovely paintings. Very scene. Over there, part that hasn't had the candle wax cleaned, and that's where they must be doing the cleaning. Yeah. Looks a lot nicer with the real colour. So I reckon it's just been a build up. Oops, sorry. Hey, all signs lead to the Sistine Chapel, looked alright.
So the government says library.
Currently heading down rows of stairs. Nope, we've come down a few levels, but we ain't there yet. It's got the apartments in a board, I guess after the Borgia pipes. Sixpence. This is an unusual roof. We have climbed down zillions more stairs. At a moderate guess, we're about, what, 300, 400 metres underground. Desperately in search of the Sistine Chapel. I reckon we had an easier time driving through Naples than doing this. Usually there's a sign saying Sistine Chapel, but there's a lot of pilgrims who have been lost on the way. What?
We have to go up now.
We turned right there. So we got to this port where everything said Sistine Chapel. Anyway, still more signs claiming the Sistine Chapel. Well, we found the Sistine Chapel, where we can take videos, so there are none to show you, I'm afraid. We've come out, there's a whole heap of other rooms that are all quite nicely decorated. They had seats around the outside, and Sarah sat down there looking up for a long, long period of time. And turned to me and said, the immortal, I'm soaking up the culture. I said, are you really? And she said, no, I'm just giving my feet a rest. One of the most famous works of art in the world.
The records got completely embellished. That story.
Did
He
not.
asked me if I was absorbing the culture. I said yes, and then a few minutes later, seconds later, I turned and said no, my feet were sore.
And how was I embellishing that? This is the Church of San Giovanni in Laterno. There's some pretty pictures you might be able to see up through there. On the walls of both. And the only reason we came was to see the original Roman set of doors. But we're in t-shirts and shorts, and they have that you can't wear short rule. Although that woman's just come out of it wearing shorts. Maybe we'll try. We're stuck inside. It's very, very late. God. Wow, the Benson definitive of bravery. It's a monster, isn't it? It's a very, very large church. Okay. It's huge, isn't it? Maybe there. That's my guess. No, but I think on the other side they look the same. I wonder if these doors are 2,000 years old. These are the original doors. We've found it. We know it's right because we've seen the copies. Fairly impressive, aren't they? Huge church, and there's a huge church, this one. And it's next to that vast body there. Really, really impressively monstrous one. That's just the main side. There's centre doors through there. And the big half Ionic, half Corinthian columns. And a Doric at the bottom. Fairly amazing. Even over there there's some nice picture of gold.